Hey everybody, this is Sheets, and I am proud to announce a new PXF Pro. His name is Ryan Welch, and he's known to most of you as Gutshtallin online. And this guy really makes me jealous. Okay, never mind the fact that he's won 4 Sunday majors. Right, I've won 0. Okay, 4 Sunday majors. He won the Sunday warm up, the Sunday brawl, the UBOC, Sunday Stars 100 Rebuy. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Having only played multis seriously for about 2 years or so, but forget all that. I mean, he played baseball in college, which is something that makes me even more jealous than his poker accomplishments. As my son is in Little League this year, reminds me of how great I was in Little League and wanted to be a baseball player growing up, and I know I couldn't play in college. So, Ryan, you've done well for yourself. And also, I want to say that it's kind of annoying to play with him because number one, with all the different Ryans out there, there's the Ryan Welch and the Ryan Bluff and the Ryan Hall and the Ryan F. I can't keep track of all the Ryans. I can't keep my reads right. I mean, just when I think I'm playing against the tight guy, then the aggressive guy's raising me, and just when I think I'm playing against the aggressive guy, the tight guy wakes up with a hand. And one of the incredible things about Ryan Welch's play is that he is all of those people. He knows how to change gears just about as well as anybody. And more important than that, he knows when other people are changing gears. I mean, I hope that his videos can kind of demonstrate that. I know I featured him in some of my videos as being someone really to fear because not only can he change gears himself, but he can also tell when other people changes gears. Um, I uh, I really look forward to his contributions to the PXF community, and I look forward to his videos. And I guess without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ryan Gutshuttle and Welch to PokerXFactor.com.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Gutshot All in Welch coming to you for my first Poker X Factor video. Pretty excited to join the Poker X Factor team, and the video I first chose to do is a Sunday PokerStars $100 rebuy tournament. Um, it's part of the normal Sunday schedule for me. Starts about 1 o'clock Central Time, 2 o'clock Eastern. So at the time when I did this video, obviously I'm multi-tabling at this point. Usually, 2 o'clock, there's probably 7, 8 tournaments going. And this is one of the first times I've really gone through the entire hand history. So let's kind of just go ahead and get started right into this thing. During the rebuy period, I'll kind of go pretty quickly. I play my rebuy periods like a lot of like high stakes regs do. I play for my whole stack, try to get doubled up early on, and just kind of pick after that. But I'll just be open shoving a lot of my range, looking to get that double stack to come out of that rebuy period. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing started. Ace rags early on, don't really ever get involved. I'll probably just fold it. Um, and like I said, with all the tables going on a Sunday, you might see some hands that I just won't get involved with just because of the fact that I'm multi-tabling and I'm usually playing pretty straightforward in a rebuy period. Just kind of open shoving and, like I said, trying to get that double stack. I guess during this time, I can give you a little bit of background on myself. I basically started playing poker a lot later than a lot of people did. Really didn't get involved with it until basically after I graduated college. Played a little bit in college, mostly just some small home games with a couple of buddies of mine where I played baseball. Here's the ace queen, just shoving all in against pocket fives. Uh, Obviously get the double stack early on. And then I basically just kind of fold through here about a few hands. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, started playing poker back in college, Southern Illinois University. Had a shoulder surgery. Had a lot of off time. Um, one of my good friends, you might know him online right now. Blooberlees on Full Tilt, Stanky One on PokerStars. Recently had a lot of success. Really been killing it lately. But he actually was involved with it with poker before I was, and just playing sit and goes and things on Party Poker and Pacific and all those fun sites back then. But then, once I got done with college, I actually went to work for a large corporation here in Nashville, um, and got a really good job working in corporate sales. Moved up the ladder pretty quickly, but found out shortly that sitting behind an office desk and going to work from 7 to 5, every single day just wasn't quite cut out for me. So um, just basically took on poker full time when I started playing MTTs back in basically, I guess it was like October of '07. So it's been almost 2 years now where I've been playing poker MTTs. Didn't quit my job until I believe it was March of '08. So once March of '08 came around, that's when I was playing poker full time. Um, so, and then from there, I've been lucky to hit some good things and had some things go my way, and it's been great. Back to this lovely action. We're basically just folding around here. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of skip forward. Obviously, you guys don't need to be seeing these kind of hands. Looks like a hand here where I play 2 6s. Just flatting the set mine here, really nothing else. And I get there, decide to check the flop, just check shove, trying to rep a straight or flush draw. Kind of amazes me. A lot of times we will get called off pretty light there when people just are putting on a draw. So during the rebuy period, I don't mind just butt check shoving the flop. 7 deuce, not gonna play. Let's see the next hand we play here. Let's see. Looks like we won a small pot here with king 8. Or not. Let's see. It's 2 jacks. Alright, so it's 75 150 already, so we're getting looks like we're out of the rebuy period now, so let's go back and see that one more time. Looks like we pick up 2 jacks in the big blind. See, I decided to raise. A lot of times I'm gonna flat there, but I guess I decided to raise with his stack out of position. And I don't know if I really like that at this point. Don't hate it. But let me see who's actually in seat 1 here. If we got any regulars. Yeah, my table is basically full of regs. Let's see. We've got in seat 1, 6th sense, 19 reg. Player 2 is Usorsic B Hanks. Also really good player. Player 4 is a good friend of mine. Lockdown Tex. Oopsie Daisy in seat 7. Remco 26 in seat 9. So this is actually a pretty tough table for a Sunday 100 rebuy. And let's just go ahead and rewind this real quick. Let's see. Well, there's really not much to rewind. I had 6-7. I think I decided to just flat a raise. All I had was a gut shot on the flop, and by the time the flop came out, there was a raise and re-raise, so no need to get involved there. Let's see. Basically, fold for a couple hands here. The 9-7 suited. I mean, I've got enough chips to open there, but like I said, on a Sunday, I'm not really getting too tricky. We pre-antes here, and not really wanting to have to raise and fold to player 8 shove. So I decided just to fold in an early position. Alright, right here we pick up 2 red aces in the big blind, which is always nice, and we at least get a little bit of action here. Let's go ahead and pause this real quick. Folds around to the small blind. He raises a full 3 times. And I decide to just flat with my aces here. A lot of times, you can re-raise. He's not really that deep, so when he opens 3 times full with only about 25, 30 big blinds, um, you know, I decided to just under rep my hand and hopefully able to stack him. So I'm gonna go ahead and replay this hand real quick. All right, so he starts the hand with a little under 30 blinds, 29 blinds. He raises full 3 times. I flat. He bets 1,000 on the flop, and I flat. And then the turn comes, and he decides to check raise all in. To me, that's an easy call, even without the club. Not that great, but I just I'm not folding my hand, blind versus blind there. So he decides to check shove eights. Definitely a mistake on his part. If I were him, I would probably bet the flop and then probably just check the turn and reevaluate the bet sizing on the turn. He doesn't beat much anymore. He only beats a bluff with his eights. Of at least what I'm betting, I'm not going to be leading the turn with sevens or sixes there. I'll probably just check it back. So he check shoves with his eights. We win a nice pot, a 12K pot. So now we are sitting pretty nice. We got about 14K, so 70 blinds. We got a raise and a re-raise and a flat, which is interesting with U-Sor 6 bet size, and he just check folds the flop. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Don't really play too many hands again. Looks like we'll skip ahead. It's a long tourney, a lot of hands. Don't see any reason to go through every single hand where I'm folding. So I decided to open up ace jack off under the gun here with my stack size. Queen 2-2, get 2 flatters. I'm just check folding this flop. At this point, I'm not trying to get involved with ace jack, which a lot of times I would fold there if my stack was smaller. But I don't mind opening under the gun when I've got over 60, 70 blinds. 3-7 off. Obviously, we're just getting rid of that. Pick up, looks like Jack 9 offsuit, or no, yeah, Jack 9 suited. Hand that obviously flops really well. The guy decides to min raise. We both get a lot of chips. I flick it in, check, check. He bets 800 on the turn. I go ahead and just let him have the pot. Playing pretty straightforward so far. Yeah, and Sunday, as most of you guys know, can get pretty hectic with all the tables, and I'm just as guilty as a lot of other people as far as getting kind of robotic on a Sunday when you're just playing that many tables, not getting involved with a whole lot of hands, not getting real tricky. So, it is what it is. Later on, though, once you get deeper, you make the table bigger and you're paying more attention and trying to pick up on other things. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. Let's get that out of the way. Still getting used to this fun software. So, and like I said, you guys, it's my first video here, so I'm always open for some constructive criticism anyway around. Raise to 600, I'm folding ace 2 suited there. I guess you could say it's probably a tight fold, but I don't really like ace rag at any point really, other than like raise stealing or if I'm big stacked opening the pot myself. Don't really ever like calling with hands like ace 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Anything that's even suited. A lot of times you'll see me fold in early position. If I'm in position, the cut off the button and a big stack opens and I've got a lot of chips as well, I don't mind calling and basically trying to hit that flush or the 2 pair trips and trying to stack someone. But early on, I'm just not getting involved with ace x. I think it just gets you in too many like really hairy situations early on. Looks like we pick up Ace Jack offsuit. 10 big blind shove, easy call for me. He's got the queen 10. And he reversed the queen for, somewhat small pot. The blinds are up now to 125, 250, antes are in, so people are opening up a little bit. Nice hand there, raise and a re-raise. If he would have folded 8-9, meh. I probably still would have folded 8-9 suited from the small blind there. Don't really like playing it out of position with a guy that's only got 30 blinds. Yeah, I guess you could flick it in and try to hit a flop, but against a good player, which B Hanks definitely is, don't want to try to play that out of position. Much rather play that in position. Let's see, 101. Basically just fold for a few more hands, and we'll fast forward about 3 hands. We pick up 2 kings under the gun, make it 650. Basically 2.5 times the blind, and folds around. Yay. And hands like the 100 in tournaments like the 100 Rebuy were a lot of great regs, a lot of aggressive players. When you pick up hands like that and you get no action, it can be somewhat frustrating. So, at some point here, I'll give you guys just a heads up. I might have to pause the video. I've got some guys actually out to do that right now. Give me 1 sec. Alright guys, sorry about that. I've got a guy coming in installing a security system at my place, so. Alright, back to action here. Fold the king 7 off. Looks like, okay, I'm gonna get king 2 off. I'm not gonna play that. Looks like here's a hand where there's a pretty decent pot. Looks like I pick up 5-6 of clubs here. Someone open raises. I decide just to go ahead and fold. So we got a raise and a call. And then a raise. It looks like a bet, a raise, a re-raise, and an all in. And they both have ace queen. So a lot of betting for no real info. I'll go ahead and chop in the pot here. Okay. Let's fast forward 2 more hands where it looks like I'm in the big blind with ace king offsuit. And it raises. I just go ahead and over jam. Let's go back to that again. Let me see the stack sizes here. This is probably a result of multi-tabling too. You're looking at a raise, and instead of having to type in a re-raise, sometimes I just jam to look weaker. Basically, I've got 30 blinds, just kind of jamming. It's not bad. I mean, blind versus blind, he could definitely call with less there. Absolutely, I think he's definitely raise calling me with ace jack, ace 10, yeah, ace queen, obviously. So I don't mind just a jam there. Let's see, 6-2. We're going to let that go. Jack 5, that's no good. Looks like, we pick up a little rush here, about 2 hands. Looks like we get a couple hands that we play. Alright, yeah, it's the next hand here. Pick up ace king here, so I'll slow the action down so we can see what goes on here. Player 3, unknown, 3 times is under the gun, and I just re-raise with the intention of getting it all in. And he just he just folds. So I'm just 3-bet calling there all day long, about as standard as it comes. Next hand, it looks like I pick up King Jack. Sometimes I may open there. I like to just fold there with player 1, player 8, reshove stacks, King Jack off, and basically somewhat early position, middle position. Um, you know, just not really getting involved at this point. Here we pick up Ace Queen. Obviously going to go ahead and open that hand. Make it 800. And looks like we probably just get folds. Folds around, pick up the blinds and antes. I'll never complain about doing that. And here we go. Pick up King Queen suited. He opens. I decide to go ahead and flat King Queen here in position. And the big blind flicks it in. King 8 3 flop. I'm definitely bet calling there. Versus him with the overshove. Yeah, he's obviously got two hearts, and he goes runner jack. So that is unfortunate. So now we are short stacked. We're sitting 16, 17 blinds. And now we're just looking for a spot to shove our stack or reshove our stack over an opening raise. It's really unfortunate to lose that pot. Instead of having 21,000 at this point, which is 70 blinds, we're sitting at 16 when he goes runner on us. So just like any tournament, you're never out until you're out. And I could give you many examples of getting super short in a lot of different tournaments, and within a few hand stretch, right back to a healthy stack again. So, I mean, I think that's one thing that is one of my strengths, is not giving up on tournaments. When you lose a big flip like that, obviously it's frustrating. Everybody, loses flips, and you just gotta stay positive about the situation. Still try to get your chips in the best spot you can, and just kind of do what the cards are dealt. You really can't affect different things like that. You get your money in as a favorite there with the king queen, and he goes runner on you. Blinds just went up. I'm shoving my 13 blinds here with 2 7s from looks like an MP1, and get folds, pick up the blinds at ante. So that's big for us right now at this point. So now we at least have 15 blinds with the blinds just going up. Looks like we don't do much of anything. Folding, we're just folding jack 7 here. Speed this up. 2 7 suited. Go ahead and fold that, which actually kind of brings me to a, a funny story that happened this summer. I had a really bad summer as far as live poker goes. Stayed in Vegas almost 3 months. Played, I don't know, probably 15 World Series events, a few Venetians, Bellagio 5K, a bunch of different things, and built a lot of stacks. And just seemed like every time I got deep, I just lost the big flip. And ended up only having like one cash this summer. And it was in a 1500 World Series event. So, and the way it went down was actually came out of day one relatively short. I think I only had maybe 15, 20 blinds going into day two. But was able to pick up a pot day two and keep grinding until I had maybe like 40, 45, 50K at maybe like 1K, 2K. And it ended up folding to me, and no, it ended up being on the button with pocket threes. And yeah, I think I had about 50K at 1K, 2K. And the cutoff opens up, who had been opening quite a bit. And I shove his opening raise. He raised like 5 or 6K, and I shoved the 50K in his eye. And I think he had I think he had a little bit less than I did. I think he had maybe 40K, 35K, something like that. Um, and he calls with Ace King, and he calls with Ace King. Let me pause this real quick. He calls with Ace King, and we're in a flip, and I was like, oh, here we go, another flip. Flop is Ace Ace Ace. So that flops me pretty dead. And just for good measure on the turn, I hit a 3. So I was sitting there, obviously frustrated, uh, and frustrated, but not as frustrated as my buddy Ryan Bluff, who ended up playing with me at that table, who just took a string of, disgusting beats at that final table. I think he got it in with Ace King versus Ace Queen. The flop was King King 5, something like that, with 2 diamonds. The guy went runner diamond on him. Another time he got it in with, like, I think Ace King versus Queen Jack. The flop was King, King Rag, and the guy goes runner queens on him. And then I mean, it was just sick. Like, it was like, yeah, just, you feel for them. Everyone's been there. But relatively deep in the money in a World Series event, it's always sick to see those hands, to just kind of let you know that online is not rigged. Live is rigged. No, I'm just playing. But poker's poker. Beats happen to everyone. But anyway, like I said, those threes, I shoved. The guy flops me dead. Ace 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 versus Ace King. Um, in the next hand, uh, I think I have like 8 blinds, and it folds around to me, and I don't even look at my cards. I'm in the cutoff, and I just shove blind. And the big blind snap calls me. I'm like, oh great, here he goes. He flips over Ace King, and I flip over the mighty 7-2 suited, the 7 deuce of clubs, and flop a deuce, and I'm able to double up. And then from there, I think later on, he shoved like 6 blinds under the gun. I have ace 8 of clubs, and I called, and he had tens, and I had an ace on him as well. So this was my run good tournament of the summer. Ended up busting, I think, 20th in that event, which was extremely disappointing. Was able to chip up all the way, starting the day at like 20K, 25K. I think I had 500K at one point. Was one of the chip leaders, and then just went the entire day without getting a premium. Was able to chip up without it really, but when it came down to it at the end, I ended up blinding off some, made a bad call, and lost some chips, and just kind of blinded away, and ended up calling a blind versus blind shove with King Queen, and the guy woke up with Ace Queen and flopped the flush draw, but didn't get there. So busted 20th, which was, like I said, very disappointing. So, oh well, it was my first World Series out there that I played a lot of events. So we'll be back there for sure. But back to action here. Let's go back here. What happened here? It looks like I had 2 6s. Looks like a guy shoved 10 blinds and a guy called. So obviously I'm letting my 6s go. And he has the King 3 suited, which uh, I hate that shove. There's really no way I can really say anything else here. Let me go back and just make sure that was what the action was. But he has, I think blinds are 200, 400. He's got 12 blinds. And I'm never shoving there with my range to shove there is probably mm, ace 10, ace jack, plus, and probably most pairs. But king 3, I'm always letting that go, for sure. I'm never shoving that weak of a hand in early position in this kind of tournament. You can let yourself pass with 12 blinds. You can let yourself get down another orbit, at least, to pick a better spot to shove in late position with a hand like that, um, than shoving in early position with a king 3. So, in my opinion, I don't like that shove at all, by B Hanks. But you never. It's a Sunday. Everyone kind of gets frustrated in different tournaments, and you know does stuff that they don't always agree with later on. So we fold the 2-3 suited. We're getting pretty low now. We're sitting at about 14 blinds. Just waiting on a hand here that we can get it in with. Looks like there's going to be a pretty big pot here this hand, so let's slow down the action real quick and see what happens. Player 7 folds, player 8. Alright, player 9 raises, he re-raises, and obviously he's not re-raise folding, and he decides to 3-bet call ace-2 suited and is crushed by ace-jack. And looks like ace-2 gets there on the river for a big pot. In my opinion, if you're gonna play a hand like ace-2 there with his stack size, I would just shove it right in his eye. I don't see any reason to 3-bet. It's not like you're going to get him to 3-bet lighter when you've already committed yourself, and he's basically committing himself to calling your stack by opening, so I don't really see any reason to do that. Alright, the next hand we play here is after this hand here, hand 141. Looks like we pick up ace-queen in the big blind. With a stack size, barring any kind of insane action, I am not folding my hand at all. So I'm getting it in versus this guy. Absolutely, just shoving over the top. And he actually raised folds to our stack, which is nice. We'll take that without showdown. Anytime you can take a pot without showdown is always nice. And it looks like we go back into fold mode until, let's see, pick up Jack 10 offsuit in the big blind. Let's see. I imagine if we've won this pot, I'm assuming we might get a walk. Oh, we get a limp under the gun. So I obviously now the blinds just went up, so I'm just gonna be happy to see a flop. King Jack 9. And it goes check all the way around. Turn, I pick up a double gutter with my pair of jacks. I bet, get a call, hit my straight, jam, and he folds. I don't really know what his range is there. On the turn, I would probably just bet call. If he would have raised, I'm probably just getting it in with my stack. I'm not bet folding with under 10 blinds there, especially with a pair and a double gut shot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bet, get it in there. But if he wants to just call and fold on the later street, that's fine with me when I get there. I would have rather him call the river, obviously, but I'll take it. It gets me above 10 blinds again. So we're back into kind of danger zone, I guess, under 20 blinds. So King 5 suited folds around. That'd have been close whether or not I'd shove that on the button. I'm sure it's a profitable shove. But I've really been trying lately to I don't know, to try to be a little bit more patient with my hands in tournaments, like this. The ranges for calling and shoves like that are insanely wide nowadays. But all right, here we get 2 10s. Just a standard 3 times. I'm obviously still getting my chips in. I shove, and I get a snap call behind. And I'm lucky he's got ace queen, and we're off to the races. And I flop my 10, and he's basically drawing, well, never mind. He picks up outs on the turn, but we hold. So we are back to healthy. So we went from pretty dead to now we win a flip, and we have over 30 blinds. So we're sitting well right now. And these Sunday 100 rebuy fields, I mean, I think this one got about 1,100 players, which is huge. I think first was a little over 80,000. So it was definitely one of the bigger 100 rebuys that I've seen. So these are tournaments where they start off and it seems like a long grind to the top, but when you get there, it's always nice. I'm kind of surprised well, I see why I fold. I see why I fold here. I don't want to raise in this spot with 2 10 big blind stacks. In player 8 and player 9, I just don't like raising into stacks where I'm having a raise fold to their shoves with a hand that's got It's got showdown value, but I don't want to be calling off 10 blinds with 8 high at this point. I'd rather conserve my stack and pick better spots to pick up chips than basically just be you know, race calling it with 8 high or onto. And we fold. Looks like we got a 6-2 off. We're folding that obviously. Let's see. Yeah, so like I was saying, went out to Vegas this summer. I think May like 28th for the 1K, the big 1K events, and actually stayed out there all the way through Jack 10 off. We're gonna go ahead and let that go, but I stayed there all the way until I just got back to Nashville, Tennessee. Ooh, right at the beginning of August, after the series, after the main and everything. Me and a couple of my friends, Billy Cobb, Nick Phillips, Ice Pew Chips, Crow 103, two of my horses, and one of my good friends, and my girlfriend, took a trip to Maui, Hawaii, for a week, just after a long summer. Obviously, everyone's probably familiar with Billy. He got a 12th in the main event, um, and busted with, he had a chip lead basically most of the tournament, and busted in a spot where he was flushed over flush to Darvin Moon and like over a 40 million chip pot, and obviously disappointing. So we were taking a vacation regardless, just after a long summer of grinding online and live. So that was nice just to get away from poker for a week, and then just got back and have been in town here for about a week. So we'll get back to that. But I pick up 2 10s here, 3 times again, and I decide to still overcalling with this guy who's race folded a lot of times, and this guy who knows that shouldn't be shoving that wide, but still I think the 2 10s is definitely out of his range. Has the 8-5 suited, and that's a great hand for us to be up against. He picks up a couple gut shot outs in the turn, but we hold, and that was a big pot for us. I mean, that's definitely. Let me pause that. I mean, that's a big spot for us. Absolutely, it's a big spot. I mean, that's really close. Let me pause this real quick. We got to move to a new table, but that's huge. The guy opens with 9,000 behind, and he should not be opening that wide. I mean, he's got 15, 16 blinds, and then the guy ships 13,000 in his face, and we've got 2 10s now. That range is really close. Let me go back and see if I think that was a random. I'm pretty sure that was a random player. Player 5. No, it's not. It's Eric XP. I don't know much about his game. I recognize the name, and that's about it. Uh, and player 3 was a complete random. So I'm gonna go ahead and rerun this hand real quick. But yeah, it looks like 160. Yeah, he opens. Um, oh, okay, he's almost got 20 blinds when he opens. So I don't. Okay, that I was looking at the blinds wrong here. So he just opens through 3 times, which he's done though a few times. So the 3 times doesn't really scare me with his opening range. He's already folded, and he just jams his 20 blind stack in his eye. Just saying that the guy's been opening wide, and yeah, 10s are definitely ahead there of that range. I think he's shoving a lot of pairs, a lot of aces. So yep, we get lucky and we hold against the 8-5 suited, and yeah, now we've got a lot of chips. So and we move tables. So we move we move tables, um, and let's just I'm gonna pause here real quick and see if we've got any regs here at this table, which I imagine any hunter rebuy we probably do. I'm gonna get a 5 jack. We're fucking folding that. We are folding the jack 5. Quab 20. Quab 20 is in player, in seat 3. Eisenhower 1. Another great player is in player in seat 5. Other than that, I don't really recognize anybody else at our table. So uh, I know Eisenhower. I'm gonna go ahead and label him already. He's definitely aggressive, um, and a reg. So at least I have position. So, and I got a lot of chips, and he is very short. So that's another thing that gives us an advantage for sure. So let's speed this up here a little bit. I'm trying to see if we play any hands here before we end. Looks like we pick up. I'm going to fast forward a few hands where it looks like we just fold. Here's a small hand. Let's see what goes on here. Big blind. Okay. Get 10-6 off. Looks like there's just an open. And button opens and we just go ahead and fold. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go. Hand 168, king 3. If it would have folded to me, I would have definitely jammed on player 7. Any king, any, a lot of suited queens, any hands that are playing relatively well, I'm just shoving on seat 7. That would be pretty standard. King 7, I'd be full of that regardless. I'm not even opening the button with that blind stack in the small blind. All right, here it is. Here's we play this hand. Hand 172 looks like we're just gonna we get ace queen offsuit. Obviously raise calling. Player 7, player 9. But everyone just folds, so we take down the pot. Okay, and looks like we fold a couple more hands. And just fast forward a few more. It looks like we pick up a weak ace in the small blinds. And folds around, we jam our ace. Standard he folds. We pick up the chips. That's pretty standard there that I'm shoving a lot wider than just a small ace, but it's nice when you actually have the ace there, because you can definitely get called by worse, which wouldn't have been true a couple years ago, but with how tough the fields are now and everyone shoving pretty profitably, their ranges, any ace is definitely ahead of a blind versus blind shove. So probably let's see if we get any more hands here before. All right, here. Let's fast forward here to 183. Looks like we fold this hand and then we pick up a big hand the following pot, and then we'll probably we'll end this segment and we'll start up a new one. Looks like blinds are now 500, 1,000. Standard hand there, raise and re-raise with ace queen versus tens. Player 4, ace torpedo wins a big pot. And here's one of those spots where you just gotta grin. You get 2 kings in the big blind here, and the guy just jams on you blind versus blind with queen 10, and flops a queen. But we're able to hold, and that is a big pot for us to win at this point. Bust a player, and now we basically are sitting at 51K, which is a great stack to have at this point at 500, 1,000, 50 big blinds. I just fold because it's smoother and small blind, but I'm gonna go ahead and pause the play at this point. So we've got sitting here with 50K at 500, 1,000, and we will. I'll see you on the next segment. Thanks, guys.